So, where are our UAS applications? Where do we use batteries in our unmanned aerial systems? They are used as the primary energy source to drive the UA, so the unmanned aircraft, in other words, the drone. You take a big battery and you slide it into your drone. If the battery isn't in your drone's not going to run. Okay, that's how it works. Provide energy to electrically driven onboard systems, such as a bunch of systems which they just threw there just to show it off, okay? But no, you don't need to know these systems. They are crazy systems. Payload Sensor Suite is talking about how do you use the payload, okay? So for example, if you got a camera that wants to move side to side, it's not going to move side to side if there's no power to power it to make it move side to side, okay? The telemetry system is talking about all the instruments inside your device, so your compass, your gyroscopes, things like that, which we'll talk about tomorrow. And then your redundancy flight computer is talking about your FC is the flight computer. It's basically the brain of the drone. And redundancy basically means fail-safes or backups. Okay, so if your FC were to fail, what's the backup? What's the contingency to make sure that the FC can still be powered? Okay, boom shaka. Because if the FC is not powered, you lose control of the drone to the point where it becomes where you have to maintain control at every point. There's no longer the ability to leave it and it'll hover. If you lose the FC, you are all the controls. Okay, that means you can make it do flips and all of this crazy stuff. Okay, your different battery chemistries have different functions on board the unmanned aircraft. Batteries power the remote pilot station, which is now abbreviated to the US. That's right, the US, your unmanned station, okay, which is required for the control and communication of the UA, the unmanned aircraft, okay. Batteries power the subsets which form part of the UAS. Things like, I'm not going to read this list, what I'm going to do is list out the things that you might actually be able to make sense. If you take a laptop to the field and you're using your laptop to power your drone, maybe it's a BB-loss mission, there's a battery in your laptop, isn't it? Okay, there's a battery there. There's a battery if you need to launch your equipment with a catapult. There's a battery in that. If you, so on and so forth. If you need the anemometer to read wind speeds, there's a battery in that. Okay, there's batteries in literally every single electronic device that we take with us. Why? Because we're not planning to have power outlets in the middle of nowhere. We need to make sure that we have the ability to have power out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, even your car, which you drive to there, will have a battery in the car. Okay. Provide the necessary redundancy to the UA drivetrain, so basically any sort of backups where you need power for that backup, that contingency system, the battery is going to be the thing to power that as well. Which kind of makes sense, right? The battery inside the drone powers everything that the drone can do. It's not like there's one battery for this and one battery for this. Okay, it's one battery for the whole system. All right.